Well, now we would be talking about the political history of the Gangas. The Gangas had a extensive territory and they initiated a specific style of architecture of Avani. And Avani was one of the important art centers. We have architecture that they happen to construct all across Karnataka, and Avani happens to be one of them. Well, Western Ganga, or the important ruling dynasty of the early Karnataka region, they ruled for about 700 years, starting from 350 CE to about 1000 CE. Uh, Probably it seems to me that the conquest of Samudragupta, who made inroads into the south, happened to weaken the Pallava Empire, due to which, at this point of time, they happened to evolve a multiple clan based kingships. The Western Gangas are called specifically to differentiate them from the Eastern Gangas. Initially, Western Gangas happened to rule from Kolar. Then subsequently they moved on to Talakad, and later on, as a consequence of their alliance with the Rashtrakutas, probably they shifted for a very short time, to Maniketa as well. After the rise of the Badami Chalukyas, there was a conflict between the Chalukyas and the Gangas, whom the Gangas subsequently happened to acknowledge as their overlords. They together, in turn, happened to fight against the Pallavas of Kanchi, and thereby establishing political prominence. Subsequent years, around 8th century, the Chalukyas were replaced by the Rashtrakutas of Manyaketa. Uh, it seems like there was a struggle for power for about a century between the Rashtrakutas and the Gangas, and subsequently the Gangas happened to accept the overlordship of the Rashtrakutas, and they together happened to fight against the Cholas of Tanjavur. Well, the 10th century seems to be a time of decline of the Western Gangas. At this point of time, the Rashtrakutas were replaced by the Western Chalukyas. The Gangas were defeated by Cholas around 1000 CE, which resulted in the end of the Ganga influence over this region. Though territorially it's a small kingdom, however, it contributed substantially to the political culture, literature, art, and architecture of the region of modern South Karnataka. Uh, it appears that the Gangas were tolerant uh, to and the patrons of a wide variety of religions, both Hindu, Jaina as well. Uh, Jaina, particularly during this period of time, we see at a patronage which resulted in the construction of Shravana Bedagula and Kambadahalli region. You have the Jaina temples, Basadis. Kannada and Sanskrit flourished. You have Chamundaraya, one of the ministers, uh, administrator in the court. of Rachamalla IV, and he happened to compose Chaundaraya Purana, which is a prose, Kannada prose, which is in Kannada prose form. Well, the Ganga's territory was extensive, which expanded from Mysore, Mandya, Bangalore, Tumkur, Chamarajanagar, Kolar and Hasan districts. The origin of this dynasty is somewhat perplexing, because it seems like the people emerged from the region of Congo. So the first of the rulers was called as Konguni Varma Madhava, who happened to have established his capital in Kolar. There is also some evidence from scholars who suggest that these people belong to a particular Mahisha race, and the reference is found to be in the Puranas as well to this. Tambura race with Mahisha is mentioned in Puranas, and Tambura is indicative of Ganga, is explained in the Puranas. Yaramai Nadu, which is spoken of in the Sangam literature, speaks of again of Mahisha. So the first king according to the Puranas is Anantavarma, who happened to belong to the Mahisha race according to the Puranas. The Kodlur grant of Narsimha and Santara inscription of Uncha stone says Simmanandi gave them this kingdom. Gangarajya Madida Simmanandi Acharya is spoken of in this inscription, which says that it was Acharya Simmanandi who happened to have inspired two of his disciples, Daddiga and Madhava, to establish rule with Kolar as their capital. So these Gangas had their own territory expanding from Kaveri up to the Tungabhadra, sometimes having conquered pockets of regions in Tamil Nadu up to the Arcot. In the 10th century, they had battled with the Cholas and gradually happened to decline. It is later on, subsequently, that scholars speak that the Western Chalukyas happened to move towards Andhra and towards Orissa, establishing the Eastern Ganga dynasty.